never drinking again. It's no big loss. I'm never drinking again. With Aiden Parents and Dan Ross.
Hello and welcome to the Never Drinking Again podcast with me, Dan Ross.
And me, the slightly more sober Aiden Perrins.
Get fucked. So I've got a few, normally with these intros, you just get straight into it, but I literally want to have a chat with you.
We haven't got time for chats. No, this is business.
I've got a few things I want to get off my chest. So the first thing is, so there's a podcast with James Acaster and Ed Gamble called the Off Menu Podcast. Are you aware of it?
I've heard it, yeah.
You may have heard of it. We've definitely not ripped that podcast off, but with that podcast, they have guests on who bring them gifts.
Do they?
Catherine Ryan brought them a shitload of gifts.
Okay.
We've never been brought a gift.
Because we're all getting comedians on the open mic circuits, which are
poor.
Famously poor.
Bring us a gift. We love the gifts.
Yeah, bring us a gift if you want. I don't care if you don't.
Yeah, I want gifts. The second thing I was going to bring up is for people who listen to the next two episodes, it may become quite apparent that we've been drinking beforehand and during.
I would say Dan is the most drunk out of everyone.
Wagwan. But yeah, So here is my day before recording the podcast. I woke up at 1:30. I'm just like, what the fuck? This is early.
No, Dan, don't describe your day. We've got business.
No, I'm just
so, Dan, ask me who's on the podcast today.
So I woke up at 1:30.
Ask me who's on the podcast.
It's Karl Adams. No one cares.
Yes, Karl Adams is on the podcast. He's an excellent comedian.
So,
he's newly running a night out every Monday at the old Moseley Arms in Borsall Heath.
It was too nice.
From the 9th of March. He'll plug it at the end. Enjoy the listening. Welcome, Karl, to Never Drinking Again.
Hello.
Hello, Karl.
Hello, Dan.
So, we'll go straight into things.
Yeah.
Where are we starting a night out?
I was thinking that I hate public transport so much, yeah. So I think we're going to start on the bus. Just I was on the bus on the way here. I usually cycle everywhere, and I was going to cycle, but I was on the bus today anyway. I haven't caught a bus for years now, and there was a guy teaching his 3-year-old kid to say "Botty man fi dead."
It's a vital lesson. It's a vital life lesson we all need to know.
It is. It kind of is. But so I just want to start the night on public transport just to get that kind of messy vibe going on.
Are we having cans on the public transport?
Yeah, but Super Skull.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
K cider.
But yeah, but then we're gonna go from public transport straight to a helicopter pad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like you think because we've the whole basis of this is that we can give you anything you want. We're not ripping off any other podcast with James Acaster where people are genies, but we can grant any wish. So helicopter pad
is that all right?
We like that.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a helicopter
Wildest imagination.
Cool. And then we're gonna helicopter to a basketball match in New York or something like that.
Okay.
And so you specifically want to ride the helicopter? You don't just want to get to New York through magic. You want to go in the helicopter.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
No, but you want to imagine it's the fastest helicopter in the world.
Yeah.
You get to New York in an hour.
But you just want to go in a helicopter.
Yeah.
What we've recently found is very safe, apparently.
Yeah. Especially going to a basketball match, which is quite fitting.
Yeah. We'd like to apologise on behalf of.
I do not apologise.
No, so we go and watch a basketball. We just appear in a basketball match then.
Any particular team? The Knicks,
Chicago Bulls, maybe.
Bulls, yeah.
Yeah.
In New York, the Chicago Bulls.
Cool.
Yeah.
We can all play away.
Yeah, they're playing away. And why did I go to New York to watch Chicago Bulls? We go to Chicago, jump on the helicopter again.
It's very windy in Chicago.
Yeah. So the Bulls might.
So helicopter.
Yeah.
Again.
Don't want to play any outdoor ball. So yeah, helicopter, windy city. Yeah. So we go to watch Chicago Bulls in Chicago.
Oh, we're in Chicago, not New York.
No, we teleported
Okay.
to Chicago, and then we kind of. Are you guys with me as well on this night out?
Yeah, it's
or
up-
am I-
it's
It's
up to you.
whoever you
Yeah.
want. You can.
So your guest list is whoever you choose.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
So like,
Who do you want to be with
Oh,
you?
okay.
me and Aiden are good friends. We did our ideal night out. We each individually did our ideal night
Oh,
out.
we're
Yeah.
colleagues. We're not good
Oh, yeah.
friends. We're good colleagues.
We're friends, please.
Former colleagues.
And we didn't invite each other.
Yeah.
We were like,
Oh.
just looking each other straight in the eye, going, my ideal night out would not
It's
involve you."
definitely
Yeah.
without you.
It's only
Yeah.
because we've been on nights out together and they're not great.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Is that nice to hear that,
No,
Dan?
no, they're fun, but mistake-ridden. Like, I had a night-
Reckless.
Yeah, I had a night out last Saturday. Went out with people. I got really drunk, and I didn't do anything that like significantly damaged my life or like made me seriously regret anything I'd done. It's like, oh, I wasn't with Aiden.
Okay, everything was always your idea.
Oh, that's not how I choose to remember it.
I woke up in a pub once at half 4 in the morning, and the pub was closed. I woke up in a pub toilet 4:30 in the morning.
See, they've not done their toilet checks then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They definitely
That
did a
is
toilet check.
bad
I woke
pub management.
up. Yeah, I woke up and I was like, "What the?" And as soon as I stepped out the toilet door, the alarm started going off. I was like, "Fuck!" Sorry, can I swear on here? Or?
Oh,
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and so the alarm starts going off, and I thought, like it didn't clock. I didn't clock it straight away because I was a bit sort of hungover and that
Yeah.
still. But
Well,
I
you've
was like,
fallen asleep in a pub.
Yeah.
I don't think you.
Yeah, I
Not
wasn't-
in the best of places.
yeah, it wasn't my best moment. So I've gone like, shit. I'm locked in a pub. I've worked out what happened. Obviously, like I haven't done a pub toilet. So I thought, okay. So I'm shouting, "Hello, I'm locked in your pub," because I thought that they might be upstairs. And then I heard like dogs barking, and I thought, oh no, they're gonna think I'm a burglar,
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
Go,
gonna
Release the hounds!
yeah, I'm gonna get eaten. Like so. But then I thought, no, actually, I'll just take a few. I took a few shots off the bar and everything, and I took a couple.
Yeah, I'm not a burglar, but I'm just
but
gonna
I will
steal from your
steal.
pub.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I will. Yeah, so I had a couple of shots and I took a couple of bottles out of the fridge, and I phoned up my friend and I said, you've got to come and help me. And then police sirens went past. I was ducking and everything. I was really baffled, like, because the night before as it was coming back to me, I was thinking this has been a messy night anyway.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I just drank too many. It was already
a
a
few
mess.
glasses of red
Yeah,
wine
it was.
with the fun.
It was already a messy night.
Yeah.
So I phoned up my friend from the phone in the pub, and I said, you need to come and get me out of this pub. I'm in the village pub. You'll never believe it. And he says, nah, no way are you. And I says, go into the, like, because this was in the old days with the Yellow Pages. There wasn't any Google. So I says, go into the Yellow Pages, get the village pub phone number and phone it and I'll answer it. And he was like, no. And so then I'm sitting there, about 2 minutes later, the phone rings and I says, hello, it's me. I'm in here. I told you. And so I was shouting. I says, look, I need to get out. Help me. I need help. And about 2 minutes later, someone had crept downstairs and left the keys on the side and then ran back upstairs because the keys weren't there when I went the first time. Yeah, so I just took the keys, unlocked myself out, put the keys back on the thing, and then that was...
See, I've been the other side of that story. So
When you're upstairs going, there's someone locked in my...
I used to live in a pub, so I was supervising.
It wasn't you, was it?
I was supervising a pub, and I lived in the pub in the flat. And it's the worst night's sleep you can ever have because, like, when you're home alone, sometimes you're like, oh shit, what's that?
Yeah,
when you're
yeah.
home alone in a pub that, like, if shit goes wrong, you are losing your job as well as getting buggered. And I just any slight noise, I'd wake up and like go down the pub and be like, and there was one day where I was like jokingly telling someone about a toilet check. I was like, nothing ever happens, but you need to do a toilet check just in case. And like open the door
Carl's
and
in
someone
there.
ran out. I was like, oh fuck!
Well, I remember like one of my first shifts when I learned about toilet checks was like, have you checked the toilets? I was like, oh, no. He was like, we always check the toilets just in case. Never anything wrong. We open the toilets. There's a guy passed out there. It's like, oh.
Yeah, this is why we
you know what the worst thing about that night is?
And I
is-
never didn't check the toilets again.
is when I came to and woke up in the pub, my pants were round my ankles.
Yeah, sorry about
So I
that.
was kind, I was kind of like, I was kind of like, I was kind of glad they didn't do a toilet check, really, to be honest. But yeah, I got away with a few Coronas or something like that. Yeah. So if we could add that into my night as well, if we could do that.
You want to get locked in a pub?
Yeah. But that's
at the end.
No, that's
at
more
the end.
towards the start, I reckon.
That's the
Let's
start,
start that.
We're starting.
And then get on the bus.
So you've gone to your basketball game.
No, we've locked in
the pub and we've woken up and got on the bus.
And caught the bus.
Okay.
And then we got on a helicopter, went to New York, then to Chicago, and then watched the Bulls. Yeah.
Speaking of like public transport drinking, it's one of my favourite like political gaffes. Is when Boris Johnson was mayor of London. One of the first things he brought in was like, right, we're banning drinking on the tube. And everyone was like, we were allowed to drink on the tube. Like, no one knew this. So the day before the ban happened, everyone just got absolutely fucking wrecked. And Boris Johnson's like... And then Boris Johnson got rid of the law, because he was like...
Is it not still a law?
I hope not.
I thought it was, because...
if so, I've broken that law.
Because Diane Abbott got caught about a year or two ago. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's a law, but it's one of those laws where it's like...
Oh, no, like, I've drank on the tube.
Yeah,
like,
who's going to stop you sort of thing.
I mean, with the night tube now as well...
Yeah.
If someone's drinking, they're like one of the most well-behaved people. I've seen someone shit themselves. I used to work in a bar in London, got the tube back, and there's a man who shat himself.
The thing is, if you've worked in a bar, you have kind of seen it all.
You've seen it all, yeah.
Yeah. It's like...
Aiden always gets started on.
I don't always get started on. I got started on once.
Oh, man.
And it's because I didn't have a Samsung charger and the guy had a bit too much cocaine.
But wasn't it the guy who did judo who said he was going to batter you?
No.
Judo.
Are you talking about the boss?
This might be another story.
Judo's not really the best martial art though, really. If someone says,
I don't know.
Street fight wise.
I've done judo, you could just say,
I did judo and I just got battered for 3
learned,
years. It was
like karate or something in school.
Judo's only really good if the other person is also doing judo.
Yeah, that's
all
right.
you learn in judo is how to counter judo.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
The best martial art is Krav Maga.
Yeah,
it's the Israeli army.
It's basically elbow people in the eyes and
with
or groin.
with a glass,
Yeah.
with smashed glass across your knuckles.
Literally just martial arts street fighting.
It is. Yeah, it's horrible. I'd hate to meet someone that says, "I do Krav Maga."
Yeah, just like you're getting fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're going to be my friend.
Yeah. No matter whatever you say, we are friends. So we're in Chicago. We're watching. I should point out as well, you're the first person in the history of Never Drinking Again to go abroad.
Oh, really?
Like we've literally said you can go wherever you want, and the furthest anyone's gone is Scotland.
When I did my night out, this is what I really regret. Like I've been to a fair few places, I had great nights out, and I was just like, "Oh, we'll do it in Birmingham."
Yeah. So, so actually, I wanted to go to Mardi Gras in New Orleans as well afterwards.
Very nice.
So we have to line up the Chicago Bulls game and...
Do you want the Chicago Bulls to come with you, the players?
Yeah, is that all right?
Yeah, we can sort that out.
Yeah. So,
what was that sound, Dan?
I should point out, so basically in the last episode, the Kamikaze Club sort of called us out for never drinking on the podcast. Or at least they might have vaguely mentioned it, and I took it as calling us out. So,
good call, really.
We're on the beers this episode.
Yeah.
Chug.
Cool. So Mardi Gras. In fact, I've actually never been abroad though in real life.
You've never been abroad?
No, I've been to France, Belgium, and Holland when I was like kid in school.
Oh yeah, but nothing you can actually not of drinking age.
But with like comedy and stuff, I've been all over England, like just like. All over.
How long have you been going in comedy?
Probably. Well, I got on stage the first time about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
But I've been. My little brother was a comedian when he was like 16, 17, which was like 20 years ago. So
Jack Whitehall.
Probably more like 17. I'm not sure, but he's showing my age, so I don't want to actually confirm how long it was. No, but I don't know. It was a long time ago, but he got sent to Edinburgh like off his first gig. He got through to
what a dick.
Yeah.
Me and him just looked at each other with like pure hate.
Yeah. No, but this was the times when it wasn't all Facebook and all online, so there was only a handful of comedians on the circuit. Really,
now it's literally every white man.
Yeah. And like, I mean, the people that was in his competition with him were people like, who's that Welsh guy that's always angry?
Ryan Giggs.
Rod Gilbert.
Rod Gilbert, yeah. Rod Gilbert, Mark Watson. When we went to Edinburgh, they paid for him and me to go in the hotel because I was just with him. So like since then, I've always been on the circuit type of thing.
Yeah.
So I've always
Known
been
people,
around
yeah.
the
Just known.
comedy circuit, yeah, but never been on stage until about
You
3
just
years,
decided,
3 years ago.
Fuck it. If my little brother could do
Yeah,
it,
because-
I could do it.
Yeah, because I was writing jokes for him and stuff like that years ago as well. Anyway,
Okay.
so
You were the
it's-
real reason behind his
Yeah,
success.
that's exactly it. But to be fair though, he did have a bit of bad luck because when he was having all this he was kind of like you know when they sort of say they're on fire, he was kind of like a sort, not a big deal, but he was making waves in this
Yeah.
sort of industry back then, and he got beat up about 3 months later, and he got his jaw broken, so he couldn't talk,
Oh shit.
so he couldn't do his comedy anymore. So then he was out of comedy for about 4 or 5 years, but he was going to gigs and we still around the same sort of people and that. And he got into it about 3 or 4 years before I did just now, and then we sort of have just took it from there really. But like, yeah, so. I don't know where was it going. We're in
So
New
we're at
Orleans,
Mardi Gras.
yeah,
We're in New
Mar-
Orleans.
yeah, and they're getting the tits out with the
with the beads.
the
Yeah,
beads,
We're
yeah,
in New
yeah.
Orleans. We're
What-
with the Chicago Bulls.
We're in the Chicago Bulls at Mardi
And
Gras,
now
New
we're in
Orleans.
Edinburgh.
Which is it? The current Chicago Bulls? Or are we talking?
No,
like
I
Jordan?
kind of wanted Jordan
Yeah,
and
yeah, you
Rodman
can't-
and all
yeah.
that, yeah.
Oh, a night out with Rodman.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to bring him with me, like, if I could. Is that okay?
Oh,
Rodman
yeah,
as well, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you want
Yeah.
Rodman and I mean, Michael Jordan, one of the greatest ever players.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
a night out, Rodman, like
Yeah, yeah,
so
Jordan, I should imagine, is quite boring.
He'd leave
and
early,
like
be
that.
like, "Oh, sorry,
yeah,
lads,
yeah.
I've had a really good night, but you know the wife's
Yeah.
calling." So I've gotta go. Whereas Rodman would
Gotta
be
go
like,
shave my head.
"Where's the coke? Where's the strippers?"
Where's King John Hill? Whatever his name is.
Yeah, let's head, guys. We've had a great night.
Let's go to North
Who
Korea.
fancies a trip to Pyongyang?
He would, like, he's that rich. He'd be like,
Yeah.
I've got a plane.
Yeah.
Let's
No,
fucking go.
Dennis Rodman is friends with Kim
Yeah,
Jong-un.
yeah,
That's his
for
thing.
real.
Like, he's always invited to Pyongyang. Like, yeah. That's like,
Did you? He
I
had
did
some-
not know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had something to do with some kind of peace talk or something
yeah,
with Donald
he
Trump and
helped
that.
start the peace talk. Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, yeah,
He's seen
Yeah, it's
reports
insane.
of Kim Jong Il,
yeah.
Dennis Rodman.
And Dennis Rodman used to date Madonna. I imagine that guy's life. Imagine
Yeah.
if he was just Dennis Rodman sitting
Like,
in here.
If we could get Dennis
Yeah.
Rodman on.
Say,
mean, if-
Carl said you're really interesting.
If any of us had been to North Korea, that's a massive
Yeah,
story.
yeah, yeah.
If we'd been there as a guest, as Kim Jong Il,
Yeah.
and then I was aside, I was like, "Oh yeah, I used to go out with Madonna."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Your life is more interesting than like everyone on the local comedy
In
circuit
2
lives
sentences.
put together.
Okay, so where was we in Mardi Gras? No, we're in North Korea now or not? No.
Oh, it's-
If you
Yeah,
want.
this is going too
This
crazy.
is, mate, this is your choice.
Okay.
What would you be drinking in New Orleans?
Yeah, we haven't actually got many drinks apart from cans on the bus.
Super
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, so I need to drink a bit. Is the point of this for me to wake up the next day and go, I'm never drinking again?
That's the. According to our theme tune, that's the idea. But,
But-
it's more just your best night out.
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can choose magically to wake up without a hangover. But on mine, I wanted a bit of a hangover, as if to be like, it's quite nice overcoming a hangover.
Because
The best thing about hangover is the day after the hangover, waking
Yeah,
up
when you
not
get,
hungover.
when you
Yeah,
get
that's
back to
true.
being
Yes.
That's
the day
definitely
after,
true.
you're like, it takes like 3 days.
I'm sorry for being a child.
I drank, I was doing some work. I can't remember what I was doing, but an ex-girlfriend of mine brought a big, you know, the big bottles of whiskey that,
Yeah,
that are like massive.
The massive fuck off
Yeah.
like
bottles.
Magnum
Yeah.
equivalent.
Yeah.
She bought me one of them back from like one of them no duty paid type of
Yeah.
places. And I was doing some work and I was drinking it as I was doing the work. And I didn't get drunk. I just woke up the next day and I was heading to to my old work. And there was someone phoned me up and says, "You're late." I said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm on my way." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm going to my old job." I was fully pissed in the morning. Like I didn't
Yeah.
get pissed in the night. I didn't have a hangover. I was just steaming when I woke up. And like, yeah, so
I've done that where I've gone to my old flat and like put my current key in the door, just be like,
Yeah.
"The fuck is it this way?"
yeah, so we'll get one of them big bottles as well. Can we do other things apart from? Can we go like clothes shopping or stuff like
It's
that?
your ideal night out. I
Yeah.
went for a lovely meal during my night out.
Yeah, you did, didn't
Yeah.
you? Yeah, yeah.
I think I'd like to pick the Kardashians up.
Okay.
And
all of them or any particular?
the younger ones preferably.
Let's clarify. How young are these?
No, I mean
Talking Kim and Kendall.
No, Kim's like the older one. No,
what's
Kendall
Chloe.
and
Kendall? No, not
Kendall and Kylie.
the Jenners.
Yeah, Kendall.
Kendall and
Kylie's
Kylie.
the youngest billionaire in the world.
Yeah. Oh, is she really?
Yeah.
Well, she's
so
the youngest self-made.
Self-made.
So
yeah.
she's
With
on
air
board.
quotes for those listening.
Yeah, so she's on board. She's with us now.
So we got we got Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman,
And the
Kylie
Kardashians.
and Kendall Jenner. The dad can come if he wants.
Oh, Caitlyn.
Caitlyn can come, yeah. And
We're going clothes shopping. So
Clothes
are they
shopping.
giving you a makeover, or are you giving them a makeover?
No, I'm just gonna let them do what they want, and I'll pick some stuff out. They can pick some.
Are you
stuff
gonna
out.
let them pick stuff for you, or are you just like, I just
Nah,
want to be near them?
No,
like a
no,
weirdo?
they're with me. No, they're with me. I'm not with them. They're with me. So like a weirdo, just stand around in the back and just go. Yeah,
So what?
that dress looks
You
nice.
said big. Bo-
That's like me at a nightclub for like 50 feet away. That dress looks nice.
you said a big bottle of spirit in New Orleans. Which spirit are you talking?
Is New Orleans famous for a? It is, isn't it?
I mean, all of New Orleans. I can only
For a
think
type
of
of-
food that's famous for New Orleans,
Yeah.
but then I am a big fat man, so that is.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
they're
there's
famous for
something-
music
I'm
and
sure-
food, really.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of like tequila or whiskey or something like that's famous.
I mean,
in
tequila's Mexico.
yeah, I know. But
Whiskey, it's got to be
bourbon. It is. It's
Louisiana
bourbon. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll
The
get a big
massive
bottle of bourbon. Yeah.
that sounds nice.
And
Go to New Orleans and then go shopping with the
yeah,
Jenners.
and spill the booze all over like 600 million pound Chanel dresses or something. And then
It just looks like H&M, but it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you be drinking while you were shopping?
Yeah.
Prosecco champagne with the Jenners, or
I think.
Super Skull?
Or we're still working our way to the big bottle of bourbon.
Yeah,
Or is
yeah.
that-
We're
or is
still
that
going
gone?
through that. We got like 6 straws hanging out the top of it. So,
I just look like so.
I've just got this image of you and like Kendall Jenner sharing a massive fuck off bottle of
Yeah,
bourbon.
all sitting around the changing area in fucking Chanel.
What's the one I said who was the youngest billionaire ever? What was her name?
Kylie.
Kylie. I just like, because she has the most liked Instagram photo of all time. I just like the idea that she would beat that record with a picture of you just drinking bourbon.
With Dennis Rodman.
You and Dennis Rodman.
King John. Yeah.
Yeah, you, Kylie Jenner, Dennis Rodman.
Yeah. Big bottle of bourbon. Threw some beads around in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And,
What a great night out this
It
is.
sounds
Would you
alright,
be
don't it?
shopping in New Orleans, or would you go somewhere else for the shopping?
Beverly Hills.
We go in LA. We go in
Yeah, we'll go Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play. I mean, that's their ends.
Yeah, it's their ends.
Yeah.
It's their manner.
Kendall's just there like, yeah, this is my ends, bro.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
You're saying dickhead. Yeah, so we're in their ends.
Kendall Jenner, my guy.
Yeah, my bedroom. So yeah, and I'm gonna buy like a kind of wedding dress and wear it like Kurt Cobain. Have you ever seen him?
yeah.
And wear it like
I think he was on heroin.
yeah. But yeah, so we can get some of that if you want.
Do you want?
Yeah, we'll get some.
We
of
can
that.
sort some heroin.
Yeah, we'll get
sure,
some
let's
heroin.
get some.
Aiden's your man.
Yeah.
I
But I
have
think
not done heroin.
that'll finish the party too early. I think if we used to start cracking out the heroin.
But equally, so not to rip off any other podcast, but we have magical powers.
Yeah.
So if you wanted the heroin, but then without the hit of getting absolutely
Then
ruining
why,
your life.
then why do heroin?
No, you can have the initial buzz, but then the after effects, we can come in and be like,
Oh yeah,
boom.
you're
Yeah,
not
and you can-
addicted.
yeah,
You
you
can
can-
have heroin without being
and
addicted
then you can
to heroin.
snap it out of it. Yeah, so we do heroin for like 7.5 minutes and then we back out and then I don't know, I feel like this is enough. I think
This is
yeah, we're
what
having a
weird
good night
night.
already.
Yeah.
This is a very strange night out.
Yeah.
I would say.
Strangely amazing.
I would
Yeah.
say the weirdest we've had.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sham's mackerel pizza. Nothing.
Yeah, but that's
like, you
Yeah,
can
but
have
he
it-
just
weak.
all he did is he went to his own comedy night and had a pizza.
Yeah, basically, Shams he basically said, I do a comedy night, here's what it is. And then he just spoke to us about whatever he wanted.
Oh, he was like plugging his night.
Yeah.
I bet he sells mackerel
That's it.
pizzas at that night. I bet that's the whole thing. Oh,
No, we
jeez.
will give you an option to
Your-
plug at the end.
Your
Oh,
friend
thank
said
you.
that was their favourite episode so far.
They did, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
It was a
okay.
favourite.
It's a poor reflection on your friend.
Let's not disparage Sham so much. I'm still
No,
trying.
I really- I
I'm
really-
still trying to get on in many of his nights.
Don't fucking shout,
Yeah,
he's a wanker, he's a prick.
Mackerel pizzas are brilliant.
No. He's a great guy, and he should
Yeah.
book me for all of his nights.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't book Aiden.
I've done one of his nights, and it went all right.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all you can ask for sometimes.
Any comedy bookers listening, please don't book Aiden. Please.
It's the only reason we do this. Is
You've got a brilliant partner here, Ed.
like, look, he's just started up a night. That's why he's on.
I mean, think of the worst person on the scene and the worst thing they've done. Aiden's done worse.
Good.
What? No, I definitely haven't. Because there's
We know who we're talking about.
there's one
Have
person
you guys
in
done
very
your night?
particular.
You've both done your night, your perfect night.
Yeah,
we did our own. Mine was a disaster because I thought, I'll just wing it and come up with a great
Yeah, yeah.
night, and came up with the worst night.
Yeah,
ever.
Aiden wanted to go to a fucking jazz bar.
Yeah,
She was
yeah.
doing heroin with Dennis Rodman. Like,
No, to be fair, if it was realistic, I'd probably say I just find that
Few
little
Carlings and Weatherspoons.
dead whack. Yeah, a few collies in a mixed grill or something like that. Yeah,
Weatherspoons on chicken night.
yeah. And what's it called? Balti and a beer day.
Yeah.
Yeah, $4.99.
Here's a debate, just as an aside. So there was an episode of The Chase. I watch a lot of daytime TV.
I like the chase.
And there's a guy who got to the final and he was like, if you win, what you're going to spend your money on? And he'd won 210 quid, which he didn't win in the end because he was a fucking idiot. Because he'd taken the low offer, and that's why he got 210 quid. And he said, I want to take my mates to Spoons and we go on curry night or fish night.
To spoons.
Yeah. And that caused a big debate amongst me and my brother about what is the best food night at Spoons.
So what we got? We got Curry Club.
You got curry club, you got steak night, you got chicken night, and you got fish Friday.
What's on chicken night?
Chicken, mate. So it's like any of the chicken is on offer for like £7. You can get like the wings and ribs combo, the chicken strippers.
I'd say chicken night.
Yeah, chicken night is my favorite. But chicken night
Chicken
is also
is good.
I always did gigs on a Wednesday, so I'd always go to a Spoons on chicken night, and that would be my dinner, and then I'd do a gig.
Because the thing with steak night is I can't imagine the Weatherspoon steak is that
It's
good.
the one. No, I mean, as a former employee of Weatherspoons, the one
I
thing
can tell you it's not.
the one thing to eat at Weatherspoons is a steak.
Really?
Because it's actual food. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
they
steak.
it's a
Yeah.
one thing that they cook.
Yeah.
No, I've had like mixed grills and stuff in Weatherspoon
Yeah.
and stuff, and they've been pretty good for the value, for the money. Like,
Yeah,
so.
they're good for the value.
I mean, Weatherspoons, like, the one thing I will say in their defence is you're never going to get ill off Weatherspoons because that's their big things. Like, everything
Yeah,
has to get an
everywhere
A+.
else you get
Yeah,
ill.
everything's annihilated.
Yeah. Everything's just cooked to fuck so you don't get ill.
A Chinese where I used to live was in the paper for using cats and dogs in their
Oh, to eat, not to prepare the food.
yeah,
Like Ratatouille.
yeah. No, but it was not like an urban myth or anything. There really was, and but the worst thing about it is I remember that a lot of people used to say my cats and dogs are going missing,
Oh, shit.
and then like about 2 years later, we found out that they was using. Well, no, it was more like 4, 5, 6 years later. It was like shit. Like for years, pets were going missing, and they were using them to eat.
Big question. If you knew ahead of time you were eating dog, could you eat dog?
No, I don't think so. Only because I'm
Not ahead of time, because I've eaten it by tricksters before. I've been,
No, but
I've been tricked into
but
it.
it's weird with food because if you was in China, yeah, they do eat strange, like not strange things. To them, it's normal.
Yeah, but to us it's strange.
Yes, and to them, what we eat might
Yeah.
be really like.
'Cause
Oh,
I
I've
ate
put
dog
in,
in Vietnam when they were like, oh, they were like, well, we'll tell them it's beef and then they'll eat it. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is really tough beef. And they're like, ha ha ha. And I was like, why are they all
It
laughing?
says
Yeah.
Fido.
sometimes you get a real culture shock with things, yeah, where it's like that is such like how it is there
Yeah.
that you questioning it seems weird.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
So
yeah.
you kind of have to fall into line.
I do kind of think it's weird how like we've just picked certain animals
Yeah,
which are
that
okay
we're-
to
yeah,
eat and
yeah.
which aren't. It's like if you eat meat, you should really be okay with
And it's
eating
like-
anything.
Any meat, yeah.
Even like with pets, it's like dog, no. Rabbit, borderline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And loads of people have chickens as pets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, and they just
I had a mate who went to North
and they
Korea.
have for them as pets, and they eat them as well.
Yeah, my mate Josh went to North Korea, and he ate dog. But he's a cat person, so he did it like vindictively. He was like, "Fuck you, dogs." He's like, "My cat Bliss will very much be."
Although it is like when I was in Vietnam and I saw the dogs like being cooked and that, because they just like hanged them like like a hog roast where it looks like a pig. It's like that with a dog, and it is a bit weird.
Yeah.
Just because of how not used to it you are.
Yeah,
that does sound quite weird.
Just
So
to see it,
we're shopping in Beverly Hills with the Jenners.
Yeah.
Jenners. Any more stops on the pub crawl? So we're shopping.
Are we having anything to eat at any
we
point?
could go into a Spoons. Do you reckon they're going in?
Yeah.
Are we taking Dennis Rodman and the Jenners into the local Weatherspoons?
We'll make a Spoons in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Just for that day.
I used to work there. I got connections.
Yeah.
I'll speak
Hook
to
you
Tim
up.
Martin. I'll be like, I'm racist too, and then he'll like me, and then
Yeah.
he's not racist. He was just very pro Brexit. Just
Pro-Brexit.
I've said so many things that I could get into.
You should not drink before podcasts or during
It's only everyone
podcasts.
can, isn't it?
2
Oh, okay, fair
and
enough.
3 pints beforehand.
Yeah, it's 2 during this
I was
recording.
going to go and get some beers for us actually, but I wasn't sure what the because sometimes in studios you're not allowed to drink.
We're very surprised that we are.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're not 100% sure, but we're
Yeah,
going with it.
But the doors are up now. innit?
where we record, they're like, we're fine if you drink, just don't do drugs.
Yeah.
And the first thing you smell when you walk in here is fucking Sweet Mary Jane. So, like, I'm not going to feel too guilty about having a few beers.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
And plus, on the last podcast, they were like, oh, you never drink while you do the podcast. And I was like, fuck you.
Well, half the time I drive here. So.
That's true. Drink and drive?
No.
No, I don't.
Drinking and driving is bad children.
Yeah.
It is.
I can't drive, so that's why I'm such a...
Alcoholic.
Can I have another beer? Or?
Oh, yeah. Would you like... Here's the choice, listeners, that Carl has now. A fancy Belgian beer or a shit lager?
Or Corona, which is also a shit lager.
Yeah. You've
but
got
of
two
a different
shit
type of
lagers
lager.
or a fancy Belgian.
But we'll mention some brand names in case they want to send us
but
some.
it feels like you're trying to shift that Belgian beer off.
I mean, I will definitely have it if you don't.
I mean, I was trying to more protect the fancy Belgians.
yeah, because I don't want the Belgian.
Oh, yeah.
No, have
Perfect.
a lager.
So, Corona or Red Stripe?
Just have another red stripe. then,
Yes,
please.
lad. So there we go. We'll pass that over.
Thank you very much.
And I'll also have one as well.
Brilliant.
Big lad.
That's the end of the
Oh,
Red
no.
Stripe. Yeah,
They're still shaking.
I know. I carried them here from that terrible, that very scary...
The wonderful off license.
The very scary off license we went to.
Oh, where the man was like, I can't read. Can you
A
read
man
this can
grabbed-
for me? Well, then, yes. He goes, have you got 20p?
A
What?
man grabbed me and then he said, I can't read. Can you read this for me? And I was like, what? And then he went, give me 20p. I was like, I don't carry cash. I'm in my 20s. Come on, behave.
It's not even like disguising what he's going to use it for. If he's got a can of like super strong beer in his hand, it's not like, oh, can I get 20p, for food?
Yeah.
I mean, like, normally we'd invited Mom to the podcast.
Yeah.
That would be quite fun.
Imagine his night.
So I'm
mate.
asleep outside the electric cinema.
That's 5 people for 20 pence each. I'm ready to buy myself a Super Skull.
I mean, what's interesting about the fancy beer, the beer dynamic that I've got is that I bought 4 cans of Red Stripe for £5, and then I went to a craft place and bought 2 fancy Belgians and 2 local craft beers, £19.20. There's like, I do like to maintain this image of like being a craft beer wanker, but equally. £14.20 more for the same amount.
Yeah.
But,
That is shockingly expensive.
But I was looking at them as like one of them must be real. Oh yeah, one of them is 11%. So
Is that the one that I had before, the chocolate one? Is that a
So
different one?
how much?
Oh, no, it's a
how
different
much
one.
are them 2 there? Them 2 bottles.
so these 2 plus this can and the can Aiden's currently drinking
Yeah.
were £19.20.
Jesus Christ! Oh well, that is still quite expensive. Saying that, I'm flying helicopters to Mardi Gras and stuff, so I'm sure that's not cheap.
Yeah, but that's a dream. This is just us
This
on
is real.
This is us being bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is literally I met. So we we met up with Aiden's friends, who aren't my friends. I detest them. Beforehand,
You say a lot like I don't.
and had a few beers, and then we literally like, oh, we'll need to leave at 1:30. We'll need to leave at 1:30 to get to the studio. And then Aiden goes to me, he's like, I was thinking we could go to the off-lice and get some beers on the way there. And I was like, I was thinking exactly the same thing, because we are both terrible people.
Well, we're bartenders, which is a synonym for terrible people, but it's more of an excuse.
Yeah. I don't know. For you, I feel like it's more acceptable, because you're 24.
Yeah.
I'm 28. I feel like I should have sorted out my life by now.
I don't know about that. It's just like you can sort your life out in a year or so, or in a couple of years. It's like I know.
Or just die.
Yeah, or just die. I knew one guy that was an alcoholic. Yeah, a serious alcoholic. He was about 4'2", and he used to say to me, "I was in the IRA. I used to be in the IRA."
Jesus.
And I used to think, he's talking shit or whatever. And then one day his house flooded, and he lived right by me, and he had about 2 foot of water in his house. And it's quite funny actually. I walked in his house. I was like, mate, his name was Macy. I says, you gotta get up. I'm going off track a bit here, but this is quite a funny story. So yeah, I goes, you gotta get up. Your house is flooded, and he was like asleep on his chair, and he was like, never mind. Like I says, his TV was like floating in the water and stuff. And he goes, never mind that. He goes, it's my fucking cider. And his cider was floating across the room from where he was sitting on the bench. But anyway, this story gets better. He goes, I need my photos as well. And so I went and got his photos from the flood. And one of the photos was him with a big AK-47. And all other like IRA people with balaclavas on, and on the back of the letter it says to like comrade, like his name, and then like from the IRA and all this. Right, so I thought, fuck, he wasn't lying about the IRA sort of thing. He really was, and he was a full on lose. Everyone would just go, that guy's dead in like next week. He was a full on drunk alcoholic.
Now he's the Prime Minister.
No, but he almost gets there though. He got sober, and what happened to him is something happened with him in the Catholic Church. You know, like all that sort of kiddie fiddling and stuff, right? Really bad stuff, like. And he won the highest payout that anyone's ever been paid for a child abuse case. And he won something like £8 million.
Shit.
And he was sober, and he won £8 million. And the week before, I was fucking.
I mean, imagine winning £8 million and you don't want to spend it on drink.
I know, yeah. But
it's a vindication,
but
Aiden.
I think what I'm trying to say is, like, you can never say that guy's finished.
Yeah.
Like this guy was the most finished person you've ever seen. He's not like the guy's 24 and you're like, this guy's doing fuck all. He was like about 52. He was really finished. And the next week he's a multi-millionaire, millionaire, and he was sober.
Yeah.
And he was an insane guy, man. Really, you should have him on the podcast.
Yeah, get him on.
Yeah. See what his night's
got
like.
£8 million. He's not
Yeah,
going to go.
you know what's funny? He told me
once.
He told me once he did an armed robbery. Yeah.
I like that you did an armed robbery.
Someone died.
Yeah, but he tried to run away, and he jumped over a wall that was higher on the other side.
Oh.
So it was like a 2 foot wall, and on the other side it was about 30 foot, and that's why he had a limp. But he looked, you know, he looked like what's his name? The Mexican guy, the old cartoon.
Speedy Gonzales.
No, do
you mean Yosemite Sam, the very
Yosemite
non-Mexican
Sam
guy who lives in Yosemite Park?
Yosemite Sam. Yeah. I'm mixing him up with Speedy Gonzales. Yeah, he looked exactly like Yosemite Sam. Big moustache, little tiny guy. Mostly, but I think he's dead now. Probably. He probably is. There's no way he's lived any longer than he's already had.
I mean, if
Yeah.
he's just got sober and won
Yeah.
£8 million, it's not.
But like,
I
you
can't
know,
imagine
the
things
weird
would
thing.
be great.
The weird thing about that, all them things I just said then was like not the interesting things about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We all know like something like that. It's like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
He went out with Madonna, and that's like the 12th most interesting.
Yeah. It's like if Macy Brown and Macy Brown, this guy, and Dennis Rodman had
They're
a
just
chat.
naming him.
Yeah, but like I say, he's not gonna. I doubt he listens to his podcast. No, but
You don't know our reach.
We've got 3 listeners in Brazil.
and in Ireland. Yeah, but yeah, if him and Dennis Rodman had a chat, they'd probably be like, yeah, that's normal.
Yeah.
You know.
Dennis Rodman's like, I'm bored of you.
Yeah. We're both boring each other. Yeah.
So,
Thanks for the beers, guys.
Oh, no worries.
No worries.
It's only Red Stripe.
So we'll get back on track. We've gone to spoons with Kylie
We've
Kendall
invented
Jenner.
the spoons in Beverly Hills
Yeah.
with the Jenners and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
What would we call the spoons?
The like one of the old Crown or
The
something.
top
One of
shagger?
Nah, I don't know.
I just-
That sounds like some
It's got
Newcastle.
to be. It's always a wanky name like the Moon and the Sun.
Yeah,
Well,
or
it's
the
always
old
something
king. Or
related to something in the area. What's happened in Beverly Hills?
How is it related to the area?
the Hot Hills.
So the bottle and sack is to do with
The burnt tree.
Stuff.
The burnt tree.
Is it?
Yeah. Have you not looked at the paintings in your local Weatherspoons?
No.
Yeah,
You bastard!
Yeah. It's like that is like ignored sort of culture in them things because
Like,
I
they
look.
all have a name to do with
Yeah,
something to
yeah,
do
and
with
it's like
wa-
there's little
yeah.
paintings
Yeah.
on the wall
No,
and
'cause there's
stuff of
loads
things.
of things just like the moon over water and stuff.
Yeah. I think that was.
There's
'cause there
loads
was-
of moons.
There was
mate.
once a moon there, and there was some water.
There was once.
they-
There's once a moon
No, they
everywhere.
all have like, they all have like all Weatherspoons. The name is to do with something to do with the area, like
Yeah.
history. And
I'm not having that.
history and ting.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
having
right.
it.
Well, you can not have it as much. I'll give,
But to be fair,
I'll
everything's something to do history.
I'll give Tim Martin a call because me and him are good mates,
Yeah.
and we'll have.
Because
And
you
he
once got
makes the
fired from
names up.
Weatherspoons.
I didn't get fired from Weatherspoons.
You,
I
you
quit.
got
Yeah.
you got fired.
No, I
Dad
quit.
got fired.
I didn't get fired from Weatherspoons. I
So
quit.
you-
They got fired from
I
Weatherspoons because
literally didn't get fired. I quit.
Dad
Can you
was
still
too
get a
much of an
reference?
alcoholic to work in Weatherspoons.
You
Can you
can't
still
be-
ask them for a reference then?
Oh yeah. Well, they probably wouldn't remember. It was like five.
Oh, I think
It
that
was
might
like
be fired.
5 years.
When it's fired.
I didn't get fired.
Fired! Bruce Willis.
I literally left to have a better life, and then failed at that better life, and then went back to working in bars, but slightly better bars.
Cool.
Sounds like fired, mate.
I didn't get fired.
You're very defensive over this.
I quit, and they gave me a shitload of beer as my leaving present. /
That's
I took a
cool.
load of beer.
Yeah.
No, I did not get fired from Spoons.
Absinthe. I've never had absinthe, I don't think.
It's amazing.
It's the worst thing in the
If
world.
your plan is let's get fucked
And chop
up,
my ear off. Wasn't that what's his name did?
Vincent Van Gogh.
Yeah.
So he got his ear chopped off in a fight, apparently, but he
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
heard
protect
this,
the
yeah.
other paint. It was between two artists. He wanted to protect the other painter.
I'm wearing a Van Gogh t-shirt by the way.
No
That
one
is
gives
cool.
a fuck, Dan.
Which
You're
is
not
pretty-
cultured.
That is
which
a pretty
is,
cool t-shirt,
it's
to be fair.
stained, and the stains are vomit.
The vomit goes all over you.
Yeah, basically I got very drunk. I was wearing this shirt.
Is this true?
No, this is literally vomit, yeah.
Oh my
What are you wearing? Why did you not put it in the bin?
No, it's clean,
Except for the vomit
Yeah.
stains.
the stains, but if you wear a jumper over it, it's a very...
Which you're
Yeah.
not.
It's very hard to find t-shirts that fit me. So when you find one that's quite nice, you want to stick to it regardless of how stained
Then
it
don't
is.
be sick over it.
Well,
Especially on the back of your shoulders. How did you?
yeah.
It's like, were you sick and then rolled around in it like a pig?
No, I was sick while I was asleep. It was Coyote Ugly night.
That night?
Yeah, I was sick when I was sick. I had a dream that I was sick, and then I woke up covered in my own sick.
Probably not a dream.
Yeah, it's
Well, no,
kind of.
it was a
If you do the maths, it kind of.
it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. But also,
So that's what absinthe does.
Yeah.
If
Also-
anyone's
That's
wondering.
cool. Sounds good.
if
Can I have
anyone's
some,
listening
please?
who might book me for it, I'm a very well-behaved. I'm an actor.
Are you though?
Yes.
Are you though?
What's your
I'm a
no,
very good
what's your website?
www.pornhub.gay.
No one's putting you on a porno, mate.
Excuse me.
There is some niche porn that
yeah.
you can get.
The gay. There is definitely a subsection of the gay community that love a chubby. So,
Well, you because they've all got names. It's like bears and that. You're not
Well,
a bear.
bears are
You'd
hairy.
have to be. Yeah.
I'd be. I believe it's called a cub, which is a hairless bear.
Okay.
Oh, are you gay, Dan?
I'm not.
Oh, sorry.
I'm gay adjacent.
I don't know nowadays. It's like
He seems it.
It's
no,
a
you don't.
We
It's
both
just-
a little bit.
It's just that.
I mean, look at what I'm wearing.
It's just that, like nowadays, it's
Listen,
like
sexuality is fluid.
it is. It is.
Who are we
It's
to
a
judge?
social construct.
Sexuality is a social construct.
is a
I mean, this is a podcast for a different time. Sexuality is definitely a social construct.
But I'll be pushing this agenda to everyone
is-
on my night out.
yeah,
like
I mean,
Kylie
you're going
and
out with
Dennis Rodman,
Caitlyn
yeah,
Jenner
yeah.
and Dennis
Yeah,
Rodman,
and Dennis
Nicole,
Rodman.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Dennis, listen to me.
Yeah.
No, Dennis is very much. In fact, Dennis is dressed up as a woman.
He's a
so-
bisexual. I think he's a bisexual.
Really?
Yeah, Dennis
I think he
Rodman.
may-
Yeah, I
he
think
may-
so.
I
yeah.
just feel like somebody friends with Kim Jong Un wouldn't be.
I think he may be pansexual.
That might be right. He's
He has
pansexual.
sex with
Everything.
pans.
He's
He
pansexual.
fucked a
Everything.
wok. Pansexual is just like you do what you want.
Yeah,
Hashtag
that's cool,
YOLO
right.
sexual. But yeah, sexuality is very much a social construct. But we'll move on.
But you know what though?
This is a light-hearted podcast.
Four red stripe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about sexuality.
But the thing is, when someone says social construct, something it's a social construct. Like everything is a social construct.
Yeah,
Yes.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything.
It's my favourite excuse for being late.
Yeah,
Time
yeah.
is a
Have
social.
you
Yeah,
listened to the latest episode of the podcast that we've definitely not ripped off?
I haven't.
The Off Menu podcast with Ronnie. So Ronnie Cheng is their guest, and he's a Malaysian American.
Yeah, I know
comedian.
Ronnie Cheng.
And their things like Off Menu is we've definitely not ripped off their idea.
You keep
But
clarifying.
Off Menu is James Acaster and Ed Gamble, and you pick 3 courses for your meal, your dream meal. And like Ronnie Cheng goes on and is like, that's such a like white colonial thing to be like starter, main course.
Yeah,
dessert.
yeah.
That's like a very white constructed thing. So everything's a social construct.
Yeah, it is.
So eat what you want, fuck who you want.
Do
Not
what
who you want, as long as they say yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
who
yeah,
you
that's
want
true.
with consent.
Don't just fuck who you want.
Yeah, Aiden needed to clarify that.
Yeah, I'm the only one who did. Like, I'm the good guy in there.
Well, are you though?
Yes.
You're the only one that didn't like big up the fact that sexuality is a social construct.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Aiden,
think we
you-
could all say that Aiden is a homophobe.
Yeah, kind of.
Well,
Well, I am.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
but
Burnham, what? No,
But being a homophobe is a social construct as
Yeah.
well.
it's fine. Like,
Listen, let's all take our trousers off.
Yeah. Okay,
then,
so-
all
then our
the
next guest
Okay,
is going to walk
so-
into the studio and be like, "What's going on here?
Yeah.
I did not agree to this
It's like
podcast."
social construct.
yeah, we're in a
Dicks out for social constructs.
so we're in a Weatherspoons in Beverly Hills.
I'd completely forgotten about the fucking format.
Yeah, yeah.
You were too
Forget
turned
the
on by the
format.
idea of
Like, but the thing is, I think like this is still my night going on. We're sort of having
would you have these kind of discussions on your night out?
definitely.
I definitely
Yes.
think that Jenners and Rodman would be very on board with our
I think
idea.
yeah. I don't know.
Oh,
No,
Aiden's cracking open a beer. Yes, lad.
Yes, lad. Yes, dude.
So we're at Spoons in Beverly Hills that we've invented, and a big thing that we have.
We've
is
got
that-
loads of shopping bags with us, like all
Yeah,
new
you
clothes
bought-
and
you're
stuff.
like discussing your shopping
Yeah,
trip. You're having
yeah.
a few
Me
pints.
going. That was very nice.
What rule would you invent for going out?
What?
So there's a big like a law that. So for me, it's that like if you're ordering a cocktail or anything other than a G&T, a wine, a beer, a spirit and mixer, you have to be in a separate queue. That's like my big law.
You mean sort of like no strippers before 9 kind of thing?
I mean, I broke that law.
No, is that what you mean? So there's like a lot, like
You create a law for
does it have
drinking.
to be to do it?
Is that 9 p.m.
Oh,
or
yeah,
AM?
a drinking law.
Yeah, a drinking, but
Nothing below 4% alcohol.
So you and the jet. What would you be drinking in this Beverly Hills Spoons?
Some Remy Martin. Some,
Oh, very nice.
What
Remy
is that?
Martin XO.
Brandy.
Brand, yeah,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
Courvoisier type. I actually collect brandy and Courvoisiers and stuff. I got some nice ones that are quite expensive as well. They're actually not that more expensive than buying your
Buy my wanky.
yeah. It's like you can get a good bottle of Remy Martin XO for like £70. I mean, I know that's a lot more, but
Yeah, you
It's
said
like-
it's not much more.
the
apart from
the level of
to get smashed.
Yeah. the level of like
content of it.
yeah.
So we've got you, Kendall Jenner, Kylie Jenner, Dennis Rodman, Kim Jong-un. We're at Weatherspoons in Beverly Hills and we're drinking Remy Martin XO. Is a bottle on the table just sharing it out? Maybe.
No, but
maybe
if I was gonna have
some
like,
chips
no,
and
I
curry
think there's
sauce.
like one above that. There's like a King George, something, a Remy Martin
So
King
the
George.
best
or something
Remy
like
Martin you can
that.
get.
Yeah, but that's not even the best. Yeah, like just the best
the
one.
best brandy you
Yeah,
can get
yeah, the best one we can get.
And
that's like in a can.
in a can.
Yeah. And so you've got like a pint of Remy Martin.
And anything else? Are we getting
Anywhere
any food? Any food on the way back? Or
We're nearing the end of the night now.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get like oh yeah, shit.
Munchy box.
We'll go and watch a film or something like
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Are we watching one?
that. So we're done. Thank you
Are
very
we
much.
watching Kim's film with Ray J? Basically, her.
No.
Or the interview
No,
with Kim Jong Il.
that's a good film actually. No, we will go and watch like a Tarantino, like something like a, I don't know.
A non-Weinstein produced.
Yeah, which there isn't many.
Yeah.
I don't think there is any actually.
No, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was.
Oh, is that? Oh, yeah, of course,
was
because he was
a
in prison by that
bit
time.
shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that.
Okay.
I got a lot.
So if anything, Weinstein makes good films.
Yeah, that is true.
That's
I
the
mean,
one plus point he has. He has several minus points.
Yeah.
but-
I am looking to wrap up before the break.
Yeah,
just
cool.
because I need a wee.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
need
I
a
know
piss
we
as
as
well.
well. So,
We
that's
all
the
need
one
a
problem.
piss.
Drinking
Any
it.
one more thing we want to add?
Add some food.
Do we still have to do? What are we going?
So I'm just gonna when we
So
come back for the
forever
break.
afterwards.
He's
When we come back for the
judging
break,
yeah,
I'm
you're
literally
gonna do
reviewing
the-
it. So
Have you
if there's
remembered
anything
all
else you want to add now,
We'll just go and
this is
watch,
your last chance.
Watch
your
Harvey
favourite-
Weinstein film.
What's your
Okay.
favourite Tarantino?
Probably Django Unchained, quite good, or Inglourious
Cool.
Bastards, or yeah,
With
something
with
like
the
that.
Jenners and Rodman.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
any scran, any bit of food.
Yeah, just like pizzas or just like a little buffet type
Yeah.
stuff.
Everyone can
dogs.
have what they want.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
not
social-
trying to move this
it's a
on
social
gas.
con-
No, yeah. I
Social
need a piss.
construct, everyone can have what they want.
mean-
Yeah. And then a little bit of Call of Duty and 3D or Oculus Rift or whatever you want to do after.
Who would be your best teammate of Call of Duty?
But
of the
stop with the
team-
questions,
we
Dan.
need to
Fucking hell.
points. I want the points.
Okay, what was that?
So who are you teaming with on Call of Duty with your current guest? Caitlin?
It's got to be Rodman, I think.
Okay.
I think he'd be the best sportsman.
All right, we'll have
Yeah.
a break, then we'll
Yeah,
come back
thank
and
you.
review the
One more
night out.
Thank you, Aiden.
Back off, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
And we're back for the wrap
Hello.
up of the episode.
Aiden's Judgment. Dun-dun-dun-dun.
Boom.
So
You
we're,
don't know.
we're starting by being locked in a pub.
Yeah.
Then we'll steal a few drinks in the bar.
Yeah.
Get out,
Theft.
get on the bus onto some Super Skull.
Yeah.
Then we're taking a very safe helicopter to a basketball game in Chicago.
Yeah.
One of those
Oh, you were taking
I feel
notes.
like I've said the most offensive things during the podcast, but anytime you mention a helicopter to a basketball game, I'm like, oh, okay, you can't say that. Whereas I'm saying the things that could definitely get us sued.
Too soon?
Yes. Well, I mean, this podcast a week. Yeah, too soon.
All right, fuck it.
Taking a helicopter to a basketball game, that's offensive.
It feels almost like you're mocking him.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like, that's how I
It's
want to get
not
to the
mocking
basketball
him.
game.
I'm mocking Carl for suggesting it so soon after there was an incident
Yeah,
that happened
it's
of that
kind of-
The
exact
most
event.
famous basketball player
It's
in the
inappro-
world.
yeah,
There
it's
was a
inappropriate.
very exact event that happened, and Carl just went, "Yeah, I want to do exactly that."
Yeah.
That's what I'm mocking.
Okay.
Offence is a social construct.
It is, yeah. And so
Then we go to the
helicopters-
social construct of Mardi Gras in
Yeah.
in New Orleans with the Chicago Bulls of the
Bulls.
Chicago Bulls of
Bulls.
Mr. Rodman.
yeah, Jordan and Rodman,
The
And Sky
legends.
Pippen.
mainly Jodman.
Jodman?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Fuck
Jardman.
off.
You've had too many.
Yeah.
I'm
Fuck off.
sorry, mate. You've drank too much.
Then we're
Deepak
off to
knows.
we're drinking a big fuck off bottle of bourbon there.
Yeah.
Then we're off to pick up.
Language.
It sounds like you're a.
I'm really trying to wind it up.
This sounds like you're a policeman and you're like just confirming the timeline.
I don't know how else to read it.
No,
I'm
go on.
very self-conscious
on,
about
carry
this.
on.
Then we're picking up the Jenners, Kylie and Kendall. Off to
And
do some
Caitlin.
shopping in Beverly Hills.
transfer.
Yeah.
We're going to do some heroin for 7.5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's done.
Yeah.
Then we're off to Weatherspoons to drink
Uninvented
some
Wetherspoons
brandy.
in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, Remy Martin XO.
Yeah.
The best brandy we can get, basically.
Yeah, better than the XO.
And
one.
we're the rule for the night is no one could drink anything below 4%.
Yeah.
Yes, lads.
And we're finishing with Django Unchained and some
Call of
pizza
Duty.
and shit.
And
Call
Call
of
of
Duty.
Duty.
And Call of Duty.
Which Call of Duty?
Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
This does feel like I'm being interviewed and you're just confirming a timeline. It's like, so, and then this, and then this. Yes.
The rating
yes.
I'm going to give it,
Yeah.
This is tense.
which I've made up off the top of my head.
Yeah.
First time we're going to some kind of actual decimals, I'm giving it an 8.3.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy
That-
with that.
Second?
I think so. Or third, I think.
Second or third? You're getting a medal.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys. Can I just say that the helicopter, the basketball thing was
Not intentionally
No,
offensive.
not intentionally.
It's me and Aiden definitely reading
No,
into things
because
too much.
I love basketball and I love helicopters, and it's just so.
Well, then, have I got a news story
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you?
It's
Last
so,
month was very tough.
it's so unfortunate that's the case. You know, so our events unfolded.
So
But yeah.
that puts you in our very much our like podium of
Oh,
guests.
Yeah,
cool, man.
podium place in the leaderboard.
Cool,
Which
man.
of course means you get to plug anything you
Oh,
want.
that is the best thing in the world.
So what's going on with you, Carl?
Okay, from the 9th of March, I'm doing an open mic new material gig every Monday at the Old Mosley Arms in Mosley B12
That's
9QU.
one of the pubs in the Birmingham Good Pub Guide.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's
Yeah.
a really good pub. It is a
Which-
They
really good pub.
They do great curries.
Which for future watchers of our YouTube channel,
Yeah, we're gonna try and go to every pub in the Good Pub Guide in
Oh, yeah.
Birmingham.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool, yeah.
in a day.
Nice. But not only that, he's on the 28th of March at the Billsley pub, B13QAB, I believe, is the postcode for Googlers and all that sort of shit. Yeah, so at the Billsley
Kids
pub on
these
the
days.
yeah, kids these days. It was the A to Z years ago. Yeah, the Billsley pub, 28th of March. I'm trying to beat the world record for the most jokes in a minute, which currently stands at 26, and it's held by a guy named Clive Greenaway. And I'm going to try and get 27, 28 jokes in 1 minute.
Nice one.
I love
So,
it.
I'll tell you the
Potential world record holder we've got on our podcast.
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
that is a first.
And if you want
Wow.
tickets for that, it's www.strangercomedy.com, and that's stranger like spelt like the stupid way with the J and the A at the end of strange.
Oh, Stranger.
Stranger, yeah, like
ganja.
It's like stranger.
I'll tell you,
Stranger
if you're looking for jokes for that,
comedy.com.
I'll tell you the biggest joke I know.
Go on.
Is it me?
Aiden.
You knew that was coming, innit?
I've amused myself if
Yeah.
no one else.
Oh, there's a reason you're not on the circuit, Dan.
I am. I'm an enigma. Leave them wanting more. And on that note, that is the end of our.
No, that was brilliant, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
sorry.
thanks for
Did
coming on.
I interrupt you? Outro, sorry.
No, we'll record an outro later.
Oh, yeah.
That was my
cool.
ramblings.
It's fine.
Don't worry about
Um,
my ramblings.
Yeah.
No, thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for the drinks.
Yeah,
and
best of luck with the world record.
yeah, thank you.
And there we have it. The scores for Karl Adams.
As I was saying
A
during
good
the intro,
8.3.
Aiden's friends. They're
Dan,
all
what the
bastards.
fuck are you? Shut the fuck up.
D-packs. The only
Shut
one
the
I-
fuck up.
No, I like all of them.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Dan.
We had the posh
Right.
one. We had the little one.
So, if you want to follow us on social media, please do.
Don't follow us.
At the NDA
We're
Pod
all
on
bastards.
Twitter and Instagram. Never Drinking Again podcast on Facebook. Match me on Tinder. I'll send you a link.
Aiden's got a girlfriend. Don't match him.
I
on
don't have a
Tinder.
girlfriend, ladies.
Okay. Oi, 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 oi.
I have impeccable hair, though. That is important to point
Oh,
out.
speaking of which, like,
Best hairline on the comedy circuit, some might say.
no, not best hair, but I was going to get my hair cut before recording these podcasts, and I didn't because I saw a reflection of myself. I was like, I actually look all right.
When you see a photo of Dan, you'll know that's not true.
You'll see it on the Insta. But equally, social media, motherfuckers.
I've already mentioned it all. Thank you for listening.
There's another one.
Thank you for
There's
listening.
another one.
Thank you for
It's only on
listening. Have a
YouTube.
good evening.
It's
Have a
only
good
on
evening.
I'm I'm never drinking again. It's no big loss. I'm never drinking again with Aiden parents and Dan Ross.